So here we have which function is the inverse of the function f of x equals x cubed plus 1. So there's a couple things to remember about the function and a function and its inverse. Remember, the inverse undoes the operations of the function. So in this case, you can see our function is having our x being cubed as well as this 1 being subtracted. So if we were to think about an undoing process, I know that I'm going to have to take the cube root to undo the cubing, and I'm going to have to subtract a 1 to undo the adding a 1. So immediately I can look at these and say, you know what, it's not going to be answer C. It's not going to be answer E. And that's the same operation, but then I'm not undoing the adding, so that doesn't look like that's going to be the right answer. So it's really going to be between A and B. Now, I can make a nice little educated guess what I'm believing this to be, since this is outside and kind of thinking through the process on my own. But just to kind of give you a quick refresher of how to find the inverse of a function, let's actually work through the problem so you can see exactly what the right answer would be. So remember, when you are creating the inverse of the function, we are going to replace our f of x with y and then swap the x in the y variable. Now what we're simply going to do is to go ahead and solve for y. So I need to use my inverse operation and reverse order of operations. So what that means is I'm going to subtract a 1 on both sides first, then I'm going to take the cube root. And again, you can kind of do this in your head and immediately see that the answer is going to be A. But let's just go ahead and work through it. Now you can see that I went ahead and solved for y. If I was going to go ahead and write this as the inverse function of g of x, I can say g of x is equal to the cube root of x minus 1, which is going to be answer A.